Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. I'm in the lovely, dark Benzinga office. It's Monday morning. We're all still waking up. Although, if you've been awake for the last hour, you've already experienced all the action that you probably need in your life right now. It's been a tale of two markets this morning. We were all set to open lower. I mean, we're still going to open lower, but we've been ripping for the last hour or so on this headline that there are peace talks that are going to happen an hour from now between Russia and Ukraine. So everything just ripped off of that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about oil. We're going to talk about Uber. We got to talk about Bed Bath and Beyond. The man himself, Ryan Cohen, is taking a new stake in that company. Letter out over the weekend about that. We're going to talk about that stock and the trading action in that this morning. So strap in. Tim Quast is our guest today. Smash that like button, and here we go. Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Let's bring on Joel here. Joel, good morning. How was your weekend? Everything all good? Oh, you're on mute, and I need to just see your charts. So, Joel.
Here you go. I'm off mute. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to share the charts.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to give the quick rundown here, and then I'll give you an update on my weekend.
Okay.
43, 42, 90, 50. We're down 37 handles. That's kind of like the bad news. The good news is...
Can we look at the S&P futures and not...
Oh, boy, I'm too excited today. Boom. We are 50 handles off the low of 42.38, and we're 20 points off the high. Nice little rally. Crude did hit 130.50 a barrel, up now only 440 at 120.04. Gold, that's up $24 at 1990.80. Did slip into the 2000 handle. Silver, that's up 17 cents at 25.96. Bitcoin not catching a bid here, down 9.35 at 38.610. I know Dennis doesn't want to talk about Bitcoin.
He does not.
He does not. And Ethereum futures, they're down 59.50. Let's bring on Triple D here.
Wait, just to clarify, you said oil got to one.
Mine says 130.50.
Okay, I could have sworn you said 150. I just wanted to clarify that you didn't say 150.
Yeah. 130.50.
All right.
But where's Triple D? Is he hiding in the background there?
He's hiding in the background. There he is.
Listen, I'm totally gonna mess everything up today for the show.
Okay.
I want to talk about the reopening trade in southeastern Michigan.
Okay. Is it awesome?
Friday night
reopening trade.
Went out to dinner with some friends.
Nice.
Jay Alexander's. Okay.
Company.
Yeah, beautiful. Had fun there. Okay. Saturday. What do we do on Saturday? Saturday went out to dinner again. Okay.
Look at you.
And then Sunday went had my nephew's birthday party at Buddy's. Had some Buddy's pizza.
Very nice.
And I went over to a friend's house to watch the basketball game.
Holy mackerel! It's like normal times at the
Holy
So reopening trade in southeastern Michigan is 100% on.
I like it.
I also was out and about. I went to see Stomp on Saturday night downtown. It was not a full theater, but that's okay. But no, reopening trade is on here too. So
okay,
reopening trade, sneaky reopening trade. Just don't tell the airlines.
Right, that's right. Okay, so let's talk about the market this morning. We are now, we're off the high of the morning, but an hour ago, things looked drastically different. And then we get this headline. It actually came from AFP, which is the French news agency.
Yeah.
That at 9 a.m. Eastern, 14 o'clock Grand Meridian, there's going to be another round of talks between Russia and Ukraine that just broke at It was like an hour and 20 minutes ago now. So everything bounced on that headline.
Yeah.
Everything.
Again, this is what we are in. Nothing matters except the headlines coming out of the Ukraine situation. That is all that matters right now. Oil dependent on the headlines out of Ukraine. Everything related to that. I mean, unless you're trading Bed Bath and Beyond, which has its own individual headline blasting the stock off this morning, everything is just about headlines. And again, you can have the prettiest chart in the whole world. Headline comes, and all of a sudden, the market's going to go, if we're talking about de-escalation, market's going higher. We're talking about escalation, market going lower. I mean, that's a basic algorithm that's probably being written off of this now. Escalation, we sell S&P futures. De-escalation, we buy S&P futures. That's how the algos are trading it, and that's how it's going to continue to trade until we start to obviously get one way or the other here on where this is going. But nobody has the playbook for this. Nobody knows what Putin is thinking. So it's a difficult market to just use technicals. You've got to be watching headlines in this market.
It's even difficult to use the headline because, you can use the headline for the immediate reaction. But once again, I think
you got to be quick.
Well, yeah, you got to be quick. But what about the next headline? That the talks went nowhere.
You can't trade for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's what it is. So to give you a perspective, zero swing. People keep saying, what are you buying? I have zero swing trades on right now. I continue to have zero swing trades because I don't want to take the overnight risk. I don't know what is happening. So all I'm doing is basically statistical arbitrage and day trading. And again, I had back-to-back days, 2 best days of the year. So it's telling you that the day trading is awesome right now. Absolutely awesome trading. The swing trading and investing sucks. My investment portfolio, just along with you guys, is going down as well. Yes, I have 45% cash, so it's not going down as quickly, but it's still going down. When it goes down, I'm right along with you guys. Investing is very hard right now, unless you're all commodities, which a lot of people are. But again, people are saying, should I buy gold? Should I buy oil? I get these questions continuously. I don't have a playbook for this. I don't know what the next step is. You coming in and buying oil stocks now? I don't know. You're chasing, get a pullback? Maybe. As day trades, maybe it's a trade. But as a long-term investment here now, I don't know. Oil was, we were talking at $17 a barrel a year ago. Now we're talking 130. Doesn't sound cheap as a long-term investment at this point in time. But, if we're going into nuclear war, I don't know. It's a tough market to call right now.
What good's owning oil if there's a nuclear war?
So this is a great segue into this report, this research report coming out of BCA. Do you have it, Spencer?
No, I don't have. I haven't been able to track it down yet.
Just go to zero. Go to my feed or Joel's feed. Joel sent it to me.
Fine.
I sent it.
I would go to your Twitter. Did you tweet about it?
I don't know if I did tweet it out as.
Yeah. I got it. Okay, I got it.
Bring it up.
Okay.
So, anyways, it was flying around all weekend. This BCA research report, zero hedge. Joel sent it to me. Everybody's talking about it because the analyst from BCA research here gave a probability of, we're looking at the zero hedge site.
10% chance of a civilization ending global nuclear war, but buy stocks anyway.
Yeah, I know. This is awesome. So he gave a 10% chance that it's over for everyone. They're going to all die within the next 12 months. But buy stocks anyways. And his reasoning is, well, if we all die, your cash is useless anyway, so you might as well just buy stocks and bank on the 90% chance that we aren't going to all die. So I kind of agree with that. There's no point to liquidating if you're worried about nuclear war, because if nuclear war happens, it's all worthless anyways. So I kind of agree with this whole. I just don't know how he came up with a 10% probability. That's a random number, just taken out of nowhere.
All right, I'm going to reach out. So his name was Peter Berezin is the guy who wrote the note.
Get him on the show.
I want to see if we can get him on the show because
that's exactly what I was thinking.
I too would love to know how you come to that number, 10% chance.
He came up with it. It doesn't sound unreasonable, though. It doesn't sound absurd. Is there a 1 in 10 chance that Putin just starts pressing the nuke buttons all over the place? He got 6,000 nukes. Maybe there's a 1 in 10, chance that he just goes crazy and does it. Then what? I don't know. What happens when the first nuke goes off? I don't know. It's not going to be fun, though. I'll
just
tell you
seems-
that much.
I was going to
very
send Dennis out of his house into Toronto to go camp out on his guy's doorstep, and then when he showed up to ask him, no, I was thinking the exact same thing. I don't know.
All right.
It's a trading idea, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely,
It's just funny. There's a 10% chance we're all going to die but buy stocks anyways. It's funny when you think about it that way, but it kind of makes sense. So you know what? I'm kind of with them. I don't know where he came up with the 10% number. I'm curious about that, but I'm kind of with them.
I don't know.
You might as well own stocks.
You might as
Because
well.
if you bet on nuclear war, let's just say I'm going to short everything. I think we're going nuclear war. Well, you're
Then you're going to be disappointed.
You can't do nothing with money anyways.
You're going to be disappointed if there's not a nuclear war. Then.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to cheer for nuclear war. So
I
I'm
know.
not
That's the
shorting
other
stocks
thing
for that
too.
reason.
I know.
I really don't want to cheer. Yeah,
I know.
like literally, like
I know.
I don't really feel like I just get my house done. It's going to really suck. I've been building this house for 12. I feel like forever, over 12 months. Going to finally get moved in, and then nuclear war is going to blow it all up. And then it's like, well, that was worth it.
Dennis, I don't think your area is on the footprint right now.
I'm only 75 miles from Toronto. So I'm not that far away from TO. I mean, if you're sending nukes to Canada, what are you hitting? Ottawa, Toronto.
I don't think anyone's sending nukes to Canada.
Not Windsor?
Windsor's done because of Detroit. We're talking about nuclear target. Look at what we.
I don't think we're that high on the list, but
Ambassador Bridge is going down.
All right.
No, I'm not. Hey, Spencer, I'm not coming down to the office.
I'm reining us in. I'm reining us in.
I was ready to go. I was going to go to the office today.
Nuclear war.
And now I got to worry about nuclear war.
No nuclear war.
And you know what? People will be driving on the lodge 90 miles an hour no matter what. No matter what, they'll be booking on the lodge. But okay, Spencer.
What's the history books here, though? Like I saw this tweet over the weekend and I retweeted it.
I saw
you had like 30 years where there's no inflation. There really wasn't that much going on in the last 30 years. And now in the last 2 years, you get a global pandemic and a potential nuclear war. There's a lot happening for the history buffs here right now. We're living through history here, folks.
Isn't that the
kind of exciting?
Isn't that the old saying? I don't know who said it, but there are years where nothing happened and weeks where years happen, or something like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what we're living right now. You people are so lucky to be living in these times because everybody's going to look back and talk about history here and what it was like to live in 2022 when we were getting prepped for nukes and a global pandemic. All kinds of fun.
10% chance. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Let's
move.
I'm going to the 90. I'm calling today. I'm making the call. There's going to be no nuclear war. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Oh, you're going to? Oh, man. I see. I can't make a lunch bet on that.
You'll never get paid.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I win no matter what. Because if there is a nuclear war, you're not getting paid.
Oh gosh,
if there's no nuclear war, I get a free lunch. So that's the bet you make with your friends, folks.
We don't give investment advice, but we give lunch advice, and that's the bet.
That's a good lunch.
Sorry, Spencer.
The other headline of the weekend, aside from this note, was Ryan Cohen,
Bed Bath and Nukes.
We have not heard from him in a minute here, and through his firm, RC Ventures, he's taken a new stake in Bed Bath and Beyond, a new 9% stake in the company, and WSJ got their hands on a letter over the weekend, basically saying your CEO is paid way too much, and you're undervalued, and I'm going to take an active stake here, and we're going to try to shake things up. It's basically the gist of it. So the underlying section, I'll just read you the underlying thesis here. We believe Bed Bath needs to narrow its focus to fortify operations and maintain the right inventory mix to meet demand while simultaneously exploring strategic alternatives that include separating Bye Bye Baby Inc. and a full sale of the company. Let's pull up the chart, and yep, that'll happen.
I don't even have to look at its chart. I'm just going to say, and I have no position in it, not in it. And this is just my opinion, but if I own this stock, I'd be selling it as fast as I possibly could at these prices. This is an absolutely ridiculous gift to the longs. That's my opinion. That's all I'm going to say. It's up 76% here right now at 28.50 when I am saying on pre-market prep, just my opinion, I'd sell it.
look at the short float. This thing has a 60% short interest here. It's got 40%, 40
They're all
million.
covering this morning,
It's got
apparently.
40 million shares in the float. 24 million of those 40 are sold short. That's a 60% short interest. This thing can go to $60.
Yeah, no, we've seen this before. It's been that kind of short interest for a long time. It's
Yeah.
not. I don't. I'm saying there's almost zero chance it's going to $60. And again, I'm already down $1 because we're probably talking about because you said $60, Spencer. That's why it's going up here now. Obviously, it was just a headline that broke because it's even moving higher here now, or somebody's talking about it. But in any regard, here we've seen this pop in Bed Bath and Beyond multiple times. Yes, we know he was the one that did GameStop. But it seems like every time this gets this ridiculous short squeeze, 2 or 3 weeks later, it gives it back. But I'm not trading it. I'm just saying if I was long it, I'd take the money and run. Joel, what would you do?
This isn't January.
I'm already down $1 on that call, by the
Okay.
way. I said 28.50 is 29.50 now.
All right, I'm not gonna do any technicals on this one ever again.
Because, yeah, we might ban it from the show.
Yeah, because it's fun. Yeah, but is this January 21 again? I mean, do we have the same circumstances? You know, with the checks coming, right? The stimulus checks and the pandemic, and everyone's at home trading. I don't think so. But I'm done. I'm done with technical analysis on this one. If you got in, go get them.
These
You're
meme
trying to
stocks,
get in,
Reddit
go
stocks,
get 'em.
short squeeze
Go get 'em.
stocks get crazy with the cheese whiz. And then eventually the dust settles and they start to leak it out. So I think it's the same story here. It's going to be crazy all day. Could go 30, could go 35. Who knows where it's going to go?
knows?
But I think eventually they rug pull it.
I just did a control F for the word coupon, and I didn't see any. So there's no mention of the word coupons in his letter. So he doesn't seem to have any opinions about that.
I just got a 20%er the other day. I mean, they could make a ton of money if they took that 20 down to like 10 or you know. But I feel kind of cheap because I go in there to buy a spatula. You know, it's like $9 or whatever, $10, and I got a 20% coupon for it. But
it's crazy right now. This stock is trading so much right now. This is an absolutely algorithmic driven, retail driven frenzy right now because they want, I mean, we've been in a crappy environment. So they go, oh, we got a headline. We can just go nuts on here.
Yep.
So this is going to go nuts. It's going to go everywhere today. Who knows where to stop? Who knows where this stops? And you're right. I guess it could do anything. I mean, Spencer, holy crap, it's 31 now. I mean, this thing is all over the place. When I came in this morning, it was 23. I talked about it 2 minutes ago. It's 28 and a half. I said, so it's 31. So it is just nuts.
And someone remind me, what time is it that Robinhood comes online? 9 a.m.?
And I have no position in it either. So Bed Bath Beyond. I'm not lying. I don't lie on the show. I could get in trouble big time for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not just like, oh, Dennis has a position. None of my family has a position. Nobody I know has a position. No, I'm not talking it down because I'm short the stock. I have zero position on it. I'm giving an opinion. I typically don't give opinions on stocks I'm actively trading. I'd never do that.
If anything, Dennis, you're doing the opposite. You're talking it up. your bearish argument is
it ran up.
It's coinciding.
Yeah, you want to keep
There's got to be another. Somebody else has said something.
Dennis, keep going, baby. Keep going.
It's going. I will not be trading Bed Bath and Beyond. I doubt I will be trading it after. I don't know. Later on, you never know. I'll maybe get down and dirty. But right now, I have no position at all.
The only thing I can think of here is, does this translate to some action in the other whatever meme stocks, whatever you want to call it, AMC, GameStop, etc. They did, like, there are green candles this morning. It's not nearly to the same extent, but you have to ask yourself, is there any chance that this spreads?
Yes, if we were in a non-Ukraine headline, driven oil commodity environment, I would say you have a very good point, Spencer. And yes, I have made money. I made a very good money on that big spike. Go to Bed Bath and Beyond back in like June when we had that ridiculous move from like 30 to 40 on the same type of crap, like, short squeeze on them all. And, and we got, they got, obviously it's a different headline, but I went along all that. It was like the dash for trash.
Right here.
Along a whole bunch of that stuff. And I did really good. I had like, I forget, I picked up like Workhorse and Clover, and there was a whole bunch. And like, I made like some of these, I made 30-40% in a couple days.
Wow.
So it was a really good couple of days for that strategy. I'm not sure we're in an environment. I'm not just going to say it's
Maybe.
not possible.
Who knows?
Though.
Who knows?
Yeah, you could see it. I wouldn't want to be short any of that stuff right now. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
There's other things to be short. I wouldn't short GameStop or AMC right now or any of these other ones. Especially this is just a rip roaring rally, so I'd be cautious. And you gotta make a good point. It could happen.
You short Bed Bath today, you're asking to get your face ripped off. Honestly,
it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
You're in total algorithmic drive. I just made a call and I'm down 10% already from 2 minutes ago. So I'm glad that was a paper trade.
And
yeah.
And that's what I said. It's not 21. It's not January 21 or when you talked about it. And actually, Des, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. When was it the beginning of January? We talked about these trades. We thought maybe the January effect that those stocks were going to go. Remember that we had talked about it, and they had like a little bump, and then they didn't go. Hey, if you're good at trading this stuff and you're long, go get them, man. Just go there and get them.
Yeah, this is your cup of tea. This is not my bread and butter. This is opposite to my bread and butter. I'm like discipline, risk. I don't know how do you control the risk on something like this? You're buying Bed Bath Beyond. I'm buying 32 because it's going to 40. Well, what if it goes to 28? What do you do? I'm going to 40. What if it goes 25? What do you do? You're going to 40. I mean, I don't know how to control the risk on something like this, which is why I typically don't trade something like this. I'm going to short it. I'm going to short 20 and a half, 30, 32, 34, 36.
Interesting stock for him to pick an activist stake in.
No, it's not really. It's his. Because it's all in that group. It's not even interesting. It's predictable almost. It's into that GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath and Beyond, high short interest, squeeze them type trades. That's totally in that wheelhouse.
Don't worry, Joel. I got it.
Okay. All right. Next.
All right. Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should short Walmart and Target and Costco and Kohl's and every other store because it's just going to be old Bed Bath and Beyond. That's not a trading record.
For what it's worth, there is a brand new Bye Bye Baby right next to the store where I go grocery shopping. So I'll have to do some channel checks.
Wait, they closed that. They closed that Bye Bye Baby. Are you talking about?
They opened it.
Are you sure? The one on Farmington and
No, not that one. Not that one. No, they opened one. Just one on Telegraph. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, because they closed the one that was by the other Bed Bath and Beyond, and they closed that. So.
Okay.
Next.
Let's move on. But let's stay in the activist territory here. And Occidental Petroleum, Carl Icahn is out.
Uncle Carl.
Oh, it's Carl.
Yep, he is out after about 3 years of an activist stake. He once owned 10% of this company. Now he is out. He's selling. He's taking.
Yeah, but that's not the headline. So you got that. But Berkshire Hathaway's bought it same weekend.
Yeah,
we found out that Berkshire took a stake.
There we go.
So, wait a second. Is it so?
Carl sold and Berkshire bought.
Yep.
Wait. First of all, Berkshire was already in this.
Yeah, he bought more.
Okay, this is.
He said, "Uncle Carl, I'll take your Oxy. I like it.
But what do you got?" And he just Warren just went,
and I'll raise you a nuclear war.
You know what he did? He offered him $1 million at one price. He bought him, and then he bid $1 higher on another $1 million and said, "I'll do more." But you know what? You know what this reminds me of? The Apple. Carl sold his Apple to Warren. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah, for sure. Come on, back me up, Easy Mike, or come on. Who else is some smart old dude in here?
Hey,
Spinner. Back me up on this. Carl sold his stock to Warren. I think it was around $100. Please, someone back me up on this.
Wait, speaking of Apple,
I can't back you up on that one, but I believe you, Joel. I believe you.
Wait, speaking of Apple, this is off topic, but do you know that there's an event tomorrow?
Yeah, I did know that actually. What's going on at the event? What do they got going on?
They're gonna announce like a lower price, like it's not a new iPhone. It's like
always
it's like the iPhone 8 event, and it's gonna be like a lower price version.
Wait a second, iPhone 8? Aren't we on like iPhone 12?
Yes, but it's like a 5G iPhone 8 is like the difference. It's just gonna be like.
So we went back to the 8. Can't keep track of all these iPhones because I'm on the 12, I think, and that's the 12.
Yeah, I'm on the 11.
That's the 12. But I got the red thing. I couldn't get the color I wanted because of the product.
How's your battery on you? Do you guys? I mean, are you guys? Does it last a whole day?
Yes. You know what ticked me off? It does, but you know what ticked me off is to get a new charger, and they got the new it actually fits the old charger, but then they sell you on the new piece, and it's got a new end on it because they want to make extra money off of you on all the chargers and stuff. So they get you when you're not watching.
Yep, 2015. Ron Hollick just confirmed. Icahn sold to Warren the Apple 2000.
So and Warren won that one. So I bet with Warren again maybe.
Yeah,
Although Oxy, holy mackerel, you got to say something. Warren must be looking at this and saying, and again, it's probably delayed. So when did he buy the Oxy? Do we know?
He bought it before the whole Apache. He bought it before the whole Apache debacle.
Wait,
remember that?
Who are we talking about? Carl?
Warren. When did he buy the Oxy? When did he up more Oxy here?
When it was like $65.
Here it is. I got it. $50.88. He just bought it. Warren's chasing this one.
But he's had it before.
Yeah, but he bought another 61 million shares.
Okay, but he bought it. Remember the whole Oxy Chevron?
Yeah.
Thing?
Yeah, they were bidding for Anadarko.
Anadarko.
Right.
And they got it. And that stock got killed. And he was lying the whole way down. He was down a lot of money in this one. But I don't know if he kept on buying more at lower prices, but he was always super right on this one. I guarantee you he has a chunk at like 50, 55. And he was behind the deal. No, he's behind this deal. He has something within this deal. Maybe this is like a Bank America deal. Like he bailed out. He has something in this. Do some research. I know he has his stake, and I know he added to it, but there's something going on. But anyways,
there's something going on. Warren is right again. I mean, as wrong as Cathie Wood is about everything, Warren has been right about everything.
You're just throwing shade. She's catching strays for no reason here. I mean,
look at Warren. New all-time highs again 2 days ago. Holding up well today. Berkshire Hathaway. Love you, Warren. We ever get you on the show. I am actually maybe Warren Buffett's biggest fan. I might be just the biggest fan, I think. Yeah, right. The anti-Cathie Wood investor. He's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, you were picking on Cathie a little bit.
I try not to anymore because I feel like she's
he does, man.
It's just so easy.
It's too easy.
It's too easy.
Well, I saw your $12 oil.
So, you want to know the good news with Cathie, though? Hey, ARKK held the lows today. It was testing it in the pre-market, the 57.5, and it's holding up. So as long as you're holding 50, so let's just say the bull scenario. Nuclear war doesn't happen, and ARKK 57.5 holds. So you know what? She's really beat up. Like I've tried to get bullish this before. I usually just get stopped out when I try to, but I don't know. 57.5, you got a level on Cathie. Joel, thoughts, concerns? Could we get long Cathie Wood here off 60? Lean on the 57.5?
Of course you can. You know,
probably get stopped out though, because there'll be the next headline coming, from Ukraine, probably about 11 o'clock. Oh, talks broke off. And,
you know why? Because there's only a 10% chance of a nuclear war.
Yeah, I know.
So,
well, that's it.
So
and even if there is a nuclear war, it doesn't even matter. Nobody's even going to call you out on it because we're all dead.
Just put your stop in and, whatever. You don't have to worry about it. No, I mean, it's still down 35 cents. Has it taken, I mean, that was that low from last month too? Yeah, that's not a bad level. Let's see if it double bottoms somewhere, because it puts a lot of double tops in and triple tops and quad tops. Maybe when it puts in a real solid double bottom and holds it for more than 4 or 5 days. So what was yesterday's low in ARK? Yesterday's low was 59 cents. Right there, right now. Potential. Yeah. Capital P, potential double bottom.
Yeah. See, we gave you some love today, Cathie. Let's get Cathie on the show.
I just had something I wanted to say. Oh my god! Oh yeah, I want to talk about it just for a second. We're gonna have Tim Quast on a 5 minutes. But RSX guys, this news came out Friday after the close.
They halted her.
They halted RSX.
Yeah.
This is only a matter of time. I've been saying it for a week now. Yeah, this is only a matter of time here. So, if you're in this thing, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, I'm sorry, Shelly.
Every single Russian stock.
Shelly, that was not intentional. Shelly in the chat bought some RSX deal last week. She just hopped in. I'm sorry, Shelly. I didn't mean for the time.
Well, it's going to come out of the halt eventually. Maybe there's peace talks or something. That's the Bolsonaro no nuclear war, and maybe RSX could bounce back. They're not liquidating this one. RUSL is in full liquidation. So the RSX, they're not liquidating it. It's just halted right now, correct?
Yes, just halted, correct.
Yeah, so we don't know. It's halted. Maybe make some money eventually on it. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not buying it or selling it because I can't. It's halted.
Hey,
Next.
instead of getting Kathy on, we could have Mariska Hargitay on. Hargitay. She
What?
looks just like her. Remember I said that before?
Is
Hargitay.
that the picture that they're throwing around on the internet and they're saying
Hargitay.
it's Kathy?
Hargitay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then her mom is who's her mom, Spencer? Her mom's a real famous.
some famous actress. I don't know.
We give you
Yeah.
so much information on the show. We even give you a background on who's everybody's mom is.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
No, she was a
Yeah.
big time actress. Big time.
Yeah,
Big time.
so moving off that, RKT, if you're wondering why that's trading down today, ex-dividend.
Ex-divvy.
Trading down, but it ran up into that into
Good
the
call, Spencer, with the call on that one.
It's only down 11 cents.
No, it's down. Yeah, because it's adjusted. 14.22 was the close.
Oh,
Paid
they
a dividend
adjusted
of $1.01.
Yeah.
Adjusted close is 13.21. Yeah, the exchanges adjust those for you. So,
Yep.
but if you look at your chart and you're wondering if you're just looking at the chart 14.22, you actually are only down 11 cents to Joel's point.
Yeah, but
well, my chart didn't put in that.
Well, the charts don't adjust. A
Yeah,
chart will never adjust. So,
charts
okay, here's a nice teaching thing. Charts
Jane
do not
Mansfield.
adjust for dividends. They adjust for splits. They don't adjust for special dividends or dividends. The charts don't adjust. So price is still the price.
So if you see it trading down, you're like, what the heck? It's not.
Really. You got $1.01 off it.
Got your
so
okay.
You got to pay tax on that, though. Fun.
Well, yeah. All right.
Next.
What else was on my list? Quickly, a few other small things before. We didn't really have any earnings today. We do have earnings to discuss later in the week, but for this morning, we had Sienna, we had Squarespace. Actually, Squarespace is getting punished off their report. It's my biggest loser in my Movers Tool and Pro, SQSP. It's down
SQSP?
Yeah, it's down 26%.
I never trade this one either.
They do you know what they do. They're a website,
They put squares and spaces.
No. It's a web hosting platform. Like create your own website, right? Like Joel.com.
Like an Intuit?
What?
Like Intuit or something?
Like GoDaddy? Is it a GoDaddy?
No, GoDaddy's URL.
Yeah, GoDaddy's URLs. Squarespace is like you want to create Joel.com and make and sell Joel swag. You can do that on Squarespace.
Okay, cool.
Right? That sounds like a new idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I just made it.
Dan, probably I don't know this company at all. It's obviously probably a valuation issue here. It's getting punished. Stocks make new all-time lows. You got to go. I don't even need to know anything about it. I just don't buy stocks making new all-time lows. Next.
If you had to buy this or Bed Bath & Beyond, what would you buy?
Bed Bath & Beyond over this.
Yeah, because at least Bed Bath Beyond, you got some momentum with you a little bit. But now they say, oh, Dennis is bullish Bed Bath Beyond. No, I don't like Bed Bath Beyond. It's back down almost to where I was bearish at. That thing's nuts.
Yeah, good luck on that one.
Okay.
I'll just give you the pre-market low if you're interested. 1471. So a little bounce off that. That's it. That's all I can give you. 1471.
And then I think what I say was the other one, the other earnings report. Sienna. I don't even know if they're out yet. Are they out yet?
I traded that after hours.
Yeah,
it was trading up.
EPS beat, sales miss. I'm sure the stock is not doing a lot.
It hasn't even traded this much. It's traded 3,000 shares. Trade some stock at 64.
Okay.
It's wide, 64.80, 65. Well, it's actually not that wide a quarter, so it's down slightly.
Okay.
Again, macro headlines dominating everything.
64 is interesting. I mean, I'll just give you that again. Down there. If I was short, boom, couple lows under 64 here, just above 64 here. That's an interesting level. If on the upside here, where'd you got to get to? You fill a gap at 65.09, and the close was 65.94. Didn't have a great day.
Really impressed with these S&Ps, Joel. Really impressed.
With what? The rally?
Bounce back. Yeah, the bounce back's been impressive.
It's all those are positive talking here.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
T-minus a half hour.
As we talk about nuclear war, they're just buying them because, everybody with all the algos were just selling off nuclear war. They're like, man, we didn't think of that. Nuclear war. Well, will the algorithms still exist in a nuclear war? Maybe. They'll still be trading. We're all dead. All the people are dead, but the algorithms are still buying S&Ps.
Okay, and then real fast, we had some random Uber guidance. This is weird because Uber, the last time they gave guidance, it wasn't even on their earnings call. It was the following day in their investor meeting, which is so unusual to do. Now they're giving some revised EBITDA guidance for the quarter this morning. They raised their adjusted EBITDA guidance for Q1 for the current quarter from a median of an average of 115 million to now an average of like $140 million. So they said mobility demand improved significantly through the month of February, with trips 90% recovered and bookings 95% recovered from February 2019. So that's what we said off the top of the show. Reopening trade. People like Joel getting Ubers.
You know what though? My buddy picked Elise and I up. I didn't even have to drive. I didn't have to call an
Didn't
Uber.
even need an Uber.
Yeah. So
Friends.
a reopening trade.
The friends business.
Friends are
We're
a hedge
coming up.
against Uber.
Friends helping friends drive without
Look at
Uber.
us. We're ripping. We're up. We're only down 15 handles.
Party time.
That's
Excellent.
good.
Nuclear war doesn't matter to the
Dennis,
financial
people don't want to say.
markets.
Richard Judge said he doesn't want to say nuclear war anymore. That's what he said.
Wow,
So,
talking about it everywhere in the media. It's hard to avoid it right now, really.
and we are the media. Let's see if we get unchanged. Your last
We're saying nuclear war is good for the markets, though, because they go up no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
43.20 and a quarter was your last after hours print, and unchanged. The actual close is 27 and a quarter. So if that was your target, baby, we're only 16 handles away, 17 handles away.
And then Lyft is moving in sympathy, as you would
Yeah,
expect.
for
course.
sure.
Of course.
We're Uber Lyft, man, new lows though, but I don't know. I mean, everything's so bloody oversold. There's a bloody word again. I shouldn't use that one either. Apparently,
That's okay. You can do.
But I mean, everything's so oversold. So it's like, am I short in stocks now? I kind of like this guy's, the approach on the 10%. 90% chance everything's going to be okay. So I think if you're in a lot of cash, I think I might actually do some nibbling myself today. Maybe I do a little bit of nibbling, not going crazy, but 45% cash, nibble a little bit into something. Maybe I'll rebuy my Square that I sold 3 days ago at 128. Maybe I'll do that. Not Squarespace though, Square.
Wow, look at that!
Isn't that crazy? I sold it just because it was a long-term account. I was like, well, it's probably going to back down and re-get it. It's almost back to where I bought it. I think I bought it at 98. So I need $6 more off, and I get my Square back.
Yeah, wow, that's down $1.62. Okay, I mean, if you want to get it back at the gap, it's way down at 96.16. But
all right, I'll go 96.17 bid. Just
all right, and I'll go to Tim Quast because it's Market Structure Mondays time, and let's do that right now. Mr. Quast, how are we doing this morning?
Well, thank you. How are you guys? What have I missed this morning?
Just everything.
Well, we were talking nuclear war, but it's bullish. We've already determined that nuclear war, because if nuclear war happens, doesn't matter anyways. So you might as well just buy stocks because, if nuclear war doesn't happen, they're going to go back up. So bullish. It's good.
we could have saved ourselves all that time reading international headlines and watching the news. Just listen to Dennis's one sentence. Yeah.
I never really considered the possibility of just localized. So like one nuke goes off, then that's not bullish stuff. The only way it's bullish is if we all die. So there is some different scenarios, I guess, in here. We're joking about this, Tim, because I don't know if you saw the BCA research report over the weekend, but the analyst gave a 10% chance of civilized ending nuclear war, but he said buy stocks anyways because if that happens, it doesn't matter anyways, your money. So
stocks
was
are always long-term bullish.
Yes.
Right.
But we need we need to talk for real here because we want to see what the market structure looks like. We want to break it down here with market structure edge. Let's go. Can we just do SPY? Can we just go jump into the SPY here? Or do you do? I don't remember if you do. You do the ETFs, right?
We use SPY as our price mechanism for broad market risk management.
Okay.
So we have broad market sentiment, and the price proxy is SPY for that purpose. You bet. And while I'm doing that, my sole observation on geopolitics goes back to the days of my callow youth in college.
Where'd you go?
I went to an obscure private religious-backed liberal arts university called Ambassador University. So
fancy.
Yeah,
name.
no Ivy League school. But I took close to enough hours of international relations to have a minor in it. Didn't have a minor, but I found it fascinating, and I studied what's called the classical theory, which is Hans Morgenthau. And I'll only mention this, that there are two principles to it, that politics, all politics, whether it's geopolitics or local politics, is the pursuit of power defined by self-interest, and human nature hasn't changed. So if you look at the world through that lens, and you think about what the self-interest is of anyone, a nation, an organization, a politician, and that human nature is always the same. We don't improve and get better. Everything sort of makes sense. And I'll stop there and shift to a market structure edge. So here's
Right.
look, it all makes sense to me. I mean,
Okay.
when you
I'm glad.
it doesn't matter whether it's a governor who decides that even though the state constitution may say that it's an inalienable right for people to seek and obtain their own safety and happiness, that their power trumps that. It's no different than Vladimir Putin's determining that his interest trumps the interest of the free people of Ukraine. One is more brutal than the other, but it's the same human nature. So here's this is how we think about the market. We've looked at this before. This is a short-term look at the market, about 90 trading days. We can expand it out, but the purple part of the graph, that's SPY, Dennis. So that's our price proxy.
Yeah.
And then this is waxing and waning demand. So the algorithm we call market structure sentiment. So notice that it peaked here. It can be just a little bit ahead or behind, but when it goes over 6, we have found historically that there are the statistical opportunity for additional market gains drops to 0. And actually, over the from January 2021 to present, the gains in the market when broad sentiment is over 6.0 are a negative 5%. So logically, you would say, well, why would I have my money in the market if broad sentiment is over 6? Then statistically, all of the gains in the market happen at levels below 4 when broad sentiment is rising. Well, interestingly, that's where we are. So peak, market falls. Now we're below 4.0, the green line, and beginning to turn. It doesn't mean that we're going to have an extraordinary amount of upside. Short volume is very, very high in the broad market, something that we're going to deploy on the platform. So I'm going to show you this because I think it's helpful to see both supply and demand. Let's see here. Let me do it this way. Go here. So this takes us to the market structure edge test environment. Because there are some things that need to happen on this yet. But I want to add in the supply side of the coin just so you can see this. So once again, broad market sentiment 3.7. Those little marks on here, by the way, tell us when options are expiring. So oftentimes when options expire, the market plunges. When futures expire at the end of the month, the market rises. It's a fairly good metronome. But there's the supply side. So if you look at the broad market, SPY here, short volume in SPY is, the underlying stocks is about 48.5%. But that's actually off of a high a couple of days ago. So broad market sentiment is bottoming and the supply side is starting to come down. When supply and demand diverge, statistically, there are gains. So if I look at this math, I would say, well, there is an opportunity for gains ahead, no matter what the futures indicate, no matter what's happening in Europe, or the fact that oil hit $130 about the West Texas briefly overnight, that these data would suggest there are some near-term opportunities. And I did pretty well last week, and I think edge users did pretty well last week.
What were you trading last week?
So the things that I traded last week, let's go over here to the Benzinga March 7 portfolio.
Sure.
And here are there are things in here that I think deserve a look, and the things that I traded. So Pepsi, Progressive, Hershey, Chevron, Cheniere, all of these things did very, very well. And it was all because of diverging supply and demand. And so here's look at Cheniere. So at the beginning of the week, would you buy rising demand and falling supply? Well, absolutely. Right. So I sold my position on Friday afternoon. And so supply is beginning to tick up and demand is top. That doesn't mean that it can't continue to give us 2, 3, 4 days of gains. But it tells me that statistically, I'm about out of gains there. So I'm going to begin to look elsewhere. And the same thing happened in Pepsi and Progressive and Hershey, where the reason for Pepsi is it's got steady demand and supply fell. So demand at 5, supply falling, that tends to give a lift to prices. Now supply side's beginning to rise and the demand side is staying level. Now I'm going to start looking for something else. It's not more complicated than that. And where might we look? So the great question is, will there ever again be a reason to buy tech? I mean,
that's
right?
Of course. Come on.
That's $1 million question.
Come on.
Well,
It feels like it's not, though, because it keeps going down. Every time I buy a tech stock, I get killed.
Right. And it's really interesting. If you look at the tech sector, we can do that. We can isolate right down to the tech sector. So here's the tech sector. And if through Friday, the trailing 5 days, the stocks on a composite basis, though, there are 450 stocks roughly, down 4.9%. But if you backed up to March 2nd, here's the interesting thing. This period up 6.5%. So the trailing 5 trading days into March 2nd gave one the sense that tech was going to rise because the whole group was up 6.5%. And then it gave it all back. And so you think, well, when might that return? I think there are actually a couple of interesting things here. Look, I'm not telling you it's easy to find good stuff in tech. I think that the FANGs show an indication that the supply-demand balance may be changing. Ultimately, the market cannot sustainably rise or regain its footing for any lasting period without tech, because tech, across communication services, consumer discretionary, and tech itself, are 50% of market cap. Yeah. So there's no way for the market to rise without tech. And so I think an opportunity comes next week. It may come sooner than that. Next week, we have index rebalances and quad witching. And if you're going to recalibrate your exposure to the market as a global macro fund, a passive exchange traded funds, indexes, that's when you do it. So it's possible. I could look at HubSpot and Splunk. Not awesome, but there's the
Splunk has been good.
It really has been.
It got a couple ratings that helped it along, but it's been sneaky. And wasn't there some rumors too on Splunk, Spencer? If I'm not mistaken, was there some rumors kicking around on it as well, or something? There was something
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, what was it?
Hold on, let me find it for you. Where's the headline in Pro? It was random M&A rumor.
Yeah, it was
back a couple weeks.
I know, we goldfish memories. Too many Ukraine headlines, and you forget about these ones. But there was. I remember I was trading in Splunk, but then it got an analyst upgrade on Friday too.
That's a perfect dovetailing of the Benzinga.
Oh, Cisco. News. Cisco made a $20 billion takeover offer.
There you go, Cisco, and it's kind of had a floor under it ever since that. And that's what you do typically see is these stocks when they start getting, that they've had a bid. And it's confirmed, and especially coming from a source like Dow Jones, that it kind of almost puts a floor under the stock. And when everything else has been selling off, Splunk doesn't really want to go under that like 113 area. So it's been holding up really well. And now all of a sudden, it's starting to look like it's trying to break out. So it's interesting. But what's market structure say on this?
Well, it's a great convergence of the Benzinga power of news and the market structure edge power of data, because you could put them together and validate a conclusion. So if you've watched the show Billions, I'm not saying that it's real, but I've met a number of those people who the characters are based on in that show. I think it's a Showtime, right? I always get that wrong. HBO Showtime.
No,
it's a great show. Yeah. So Bobby Axelrod would say, or he would come to his team and say, hey, I want to know whether this rumor is true, right? And he'd have his team go try to validate it. And they'd come back and say, yeah, it is. And he would say, cover our shorts. All right. So here's the data. Right there, it happened. There was a massive divot in the short volume. So that lends some credence to the idea. It has reverted, but it's just barely over 30% here, the supply side. 34% if you look over on the left side of supply, it'll give you a number there. So 30% is what we call the deal threshold level of short volume. It's because mathematically stocks tend to revert to that level when there is merit to a buyout, an M&A rumor. And it's because anything above that's market making and long short strategies and so on. So it comes back to that level. So I would look at that and say, there's probably merit to it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but then we don't have to have the Bobby Axelrod crew of people to go call around. All we have to do is look at the data. The data will tell us everything that everybody knows. And so this would suggest to me there's some opportunity there.
Tim, for Craig in the chat, can you look at Spotify?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go up here, change this to stocks, get rid of LNG.
Wow, it's 134 now. I haven't looked at this one for a while. Holy. That's just been straight down since November. Very little even. You know, we had that pop, I guess, in late January when everything popped. But wow, ugly.
It is, you know, from a supply-demand perspective, if demand is generally weak, meaning below 5, that's this color right here. This is price, closing price. Here's the demand side of the coin. And it's not, in 30 days, it's not been back to 5. And the supply side is trending up. Price tends to fall.
Oh, boy. Did we just lose Tim?
I think we did, right in the middle. He was just getting good. But I think he was saying, wait. We're going to get him back.
Wait, is that someone's Siri? Oh, wait. Tim, you're back. We lost.
Okay. We lost.
But you're back.
It was the operator was telling us.
Something more interesting came on. So what I was saying is there's something interesting developing in Spotify here. That is that the demand side is rising and the supply side is now trending falling below the trend. So you take more risk if the demand side is not at 5 or higher, telling you've already got excess demand. But I'd look at that and say, that could be worth it. I mean, I would call this a riskier trade. But if you've got, 10% of your trading portfolio or something like that, you say, well, I might take a flyer on that. You just might make money on Spotify this week.
Right. I think all this stuff's just oversold. And I mean, that's why just come in and short tech now and buy commodities now. It's like you're totally chasing the trade. And I mean, and it's been working. It's been working to do that. I just don't know when it reverses itself. And I think those reversals is the opportunity to get into these things as opposed to, trying to short tech now when it's, just been absolutely destroyed.
I agree. And it's always riskier, particularly about 5 days out from options expirations, which would be next week, not this week, to short the market, because 5-day out of the money calls are a very popular trade. So you have to be careful with that, traders. Here's how I think that the trend is potentially changing. Big and stable has been the place to be. This is a dynamic portfolio. It gives me it's got 20 components today because that's what the math indicates. But look at this. So it's going to give me things that have very level demand and falling supply. But look at that. There's a 2-day uptick. The trend is starting to change. So then I always come down here and look at the FANGs and tech. What are the FANGs showing? Well, the demand side is starting to rise, getting back toward 5. The supply side's been miserable, uptrend, but it's also starting to tip. So it's like big and stable, and FANGs show the first indication of moving opposite each other. Well, that could mean money goes back to FANGs. I'm not promising it. Then I look at tech, and tech shows something similar. 446 stocks in here. High-speed trading machines are the lead behavior. But look at this. Demand is returning toward 5, and supply is below the trend. Those are things that are portents of upside. So we'll see.
All right. Tim Quast, founder of Market Structure Edge, link in description. We are working on getting y'all a discount to the platform.
Yes, we are.
I'll follow up with you about that this week, Tim.
We will have that next week.
Tim joins us every week on this show. Tim, a pleasure as always. We'll talk to you again next week.
Good to see you.
Okay. All right. Just for those keeping track, as I'm sure you all are, Bed Bath did breach 35. It is by far the most searched stock on Benzinga Pro today by a mile. This is going to be your number one trending stock of the day across the board. I don't know.
People love a hot story.
Yep. It's got everything. It's got the prior history of the short squeeze. It's got the highest short interest. It's got Ryan Cohen, and it's got the 100% pre-market gain to back it up. So
how powerful is Ryan Cohen? It must be nice to be able to just load up a stock and then let everybody know you loaded the stock and watch it go up 100%.
It must be nice.
Must be nice, eh?
All right, so let's do some ticker time here. We got about 5 minutes left in this show, so drop your tickers in the chat for us, and we will give you our thoughts. You know where I went out to eat on Friday night, guys? I went out to Kura Sushi for the first time. Ticker KRUS, public company. It's the sushi company with the restaurant chain with the conveyor belt, and it goes around the restaurant. and you just take plates off. You know what I mean?
Fun.
Yeah. So it was okay. It was a cool experience.
Just nice to be able to do normal things. I mean, at least, for now anyways, like it's just nice. Like I haven't actually been into a restaurant in 2 years. I still haven't done it. 2 years I haven't been in a restaurant.
Man.
But they just reopened in Ontario. So
I'm sorry.
I know my wife went out for breakfast a couple times, but I haven't been in a restaurant in 2 years.
This weekend, that was it. I'm not going to make any technical or fundamental comments on this one.
Yeah.
Do they timestamp the sushi?
No, Joe.
Okay, I'm out.
All right, let's go to the chat. What's on their radar? Food quality wasn't amazing. I'll say that.
It was or was it?
Was not. Kroger.
Yeah.
Kroger. For super
brown avocados, were the avocados a little brown?
I hate it when the avocados are brown.
I hate
that's the worst.
Okay, moving back. Kroger. This thing is on.
Oh my gosh!
This is just stupidity, man.
My Lord.
I mean, we're in this whole what was happening in 2020 and the growth tech stocks is now happening with food and commodity and anything. It's like Kroger sells food. We better buy Kroger. Let's go Krogering, everyone.
Good report.
And they sell gas. They sell
gas, and it's gone crazy. I mean, that the history has said you ring the register when you get your food stock going up 30% in a week. So I'll stick with that. But who knows? It's in parabolic mode. We don't know where this thing is.
Tough one. I guess, you're down 41 cents and you could huge move. I'll just keep an eye on the close today, see if it weakens a little bit. Big volume on the earnings day. They took it to 55.10. Volume tapering off just a little bit on Friday down to 21.6. So, wow, the high was right there near the close. Dennis, is there a chunk at 59? There's got to be somebody at 59.
I would think 60 is a big number for it.
Yeah, instead of
60? 60. Yeah, I think
60.
Yeah,
I bet you there's some. I mean, the high freaks probably were afraid to lean on it too hard going into the close, but keep an eye on that old time. I think it may stall here a little bit, but keep an eye on that old time close.
Wait, I just saw a comment on Twitter. I don't know if it's true. I want to ask it to the group here. Is it true that most new cars take premium gas? Is that true? I didn't.
They only accept premium gas.
Yeah. My car takes regular. I have a 2014.
I thought they were all electric.
I think it's just fancy cars, maybe.
Oh, maybe just fancy cars. All right.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay. My F-150 is a 2018.
I just saw from Jim Bianco, who's a great follow on Twitter, and
he is Jim.
Yeah.
Why don't you reach out to him too, or you think?
Yeah, I can get Jim on the show for sure.
There's so many people we want on the show.
Yeah,
me and Joe could just go on vacation for 2 months, and you guys just bring all these awesome people on the show.
Yeah. Okay, they're saying that's not true. It's just the expensive cars, which is fair. Okay, this one is equally parabolic. Cleveland Cliffs. Don't know what you can say about that.
This is a steal. It's commodities. So there's two trades going on. There's everything, and then there's commodities and food, and it's just exploding. And I mean, I'm upset at myself with Cleveland Cliffs. I was long this thing a couple of times. We had a couple good swings on it. 7 days ago, you could have bought this thing under 18, and now it's 26. I mean, this is the time to ring the register. I still have my new core, which has been moving up, but it's obviously lower beta. It's not going to move like CLF and X, but CLF and X have exploded here. And the people like chasing. I mean, this is what they do. I don't chase, so I've missed it. I'll wait for a pullback here now. But I mean, these things have just absolutely exploded here with the hunger for any type of commodity, even steel.
Traded up. I'll just give you just a short term, just to let you know what the pre-market traders are looking at, and 26.68. So you kind of want to see it get up to 26.68 and take that out and keep on going. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 higher lows, 6 higher highs, and 6 higher closes. I predict the Dow trend will eventually end. I don't know when.
We don't know when. I mean, look at Alcoa. Alcoa has been the dog for like 25 years. They
got rid of Quast.
Look at it. It hit $5 in 2020 in March when everything was going out under. It's $90 now. I mean, Alcoa, they're just so hungry for commodities. But if you're coming and sticking these in your long-term portfolio now, I think you're doing it backwards. So I don't know, trading. Got the momentum. It's on your side. We know JC. Props Tim, who was on our show a week ago. He's wrong for a day and then been right ever since. Yep. I mean, they're momentum traders, and this has all the momentum right now. But just don't get caught holding the bag and saying, I'm going to put Alcoa in my long-term portfolio because it's all about commodities 5 to 10 years from now. I mean, it's all about commodities 5 to 10 days from now, probably still, maybe 5 to 10 hours from now. We don't know when the pony ride ends, but eventually it usually does. And in a lot of cases, a lot of these commodity stocks, when they've had runs before, have given back a lot too. So I think you got to wait for a pullback in your longer term portfolio. But I said that a week ago, and the stocks just keep going.
Don't know. All right, it's 9 a.m., which means we got to hop. And I have some announcements to make that I want to do before we go to live trading here. So, Joel, catch you later. Dennis,
Yep.
Have a great rest of your day. I want to announce that we are 6 weeks out now from the next Benzinga event. This is the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. It's a 2-day event, April 20th and 21st at the Fontainebleau, Miami Beach. Over $500 million in deals have happened at this conference. We're going to have C-suites from Curaleaf, Tilray, Canopy Growth, and more. I put the URL, the page up on the screen there, but the URL is going in the chat. You can get a discount code right off the bat with the code SHOWS30. I just put the link in the chat, and I'm going to put the wait 1 second. Going to put the link in the chat now. There it is, and put the discount code on the screen. SHOWS30. That'll get you 30% off your ticket to the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. So again, URL in the chat and description, code on the screen, SHOWS30. April 20th and 21st. If you're into the business of cannabis, there is no better place than the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. So that's the first thing I want to say. Second thing I want to say is happy birthday to Jason Raznick. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday, Raz. Last thing I want to say is please remember that all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes and not for investing or trading advice. Thanks to our guest, Tim Quast. Thanks to all of you in our chat, all of you watching on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Facebook, and yes, even those of you watching us on LinkedIn. I see you, and I acknowledge you. That's a wrap for us. We're going to go over to live trading with Benzinga. I'm going to be there for a little bit today. So myself, Ryan, Zunaid, Mitch may or may not be able to join. We'll see. But we're going to end this stream now, redirect over to live trading with Benzinga. So smash that like button, please. And I'll see you guys over on our very next show.